which I don't like. Yeah, see, I remember him. But I want to say he was like not Europe. Like, I don't know. But maybe, or I don't know what this flag is. Anyways, we have a match here. I don't actually know which group this is. I don't know if this is like group E or F, or if it's like G or H or something, or I don't know. But we're just casting it. We got at the bottom left Zizo playing Undead, and it looks like a Altar Crypt opener with Altar Ziggurat first though, so he wants the quick hero, potentially to harass with a rod or whatever. And at the top right we got NorthDrakkar going his signature Crypt Lord, and also with Altar Ziggurat. So quick hero, he wants to get out on the map right away with Crypt Lord and probably creep with beetles and rod. Looks like he's doing his old find all the critters along the way. And I think this sort of build relies on getting like, ooh, that's not what he wanted. I think this relies on him finding like 3 different critters or something, and then he gets like 4 beetles, 2 skeletons, and creeps like something like this right away, just with Crypt Lord pretty much. And it can be pretty strong, but if you get creep jacked, you're basically doing nothing. If you get hit in your base, you might also collapse or have to use TP or something. Yeah, we'll see what happens for him. He does grab the rod right away, going for the Acolyte, but going to let it go. On the other side, Zizo is going to go a Death Knight and is going to go across right away to harass. And this is good for him. He just needs to find where NorthDrakkar is going and then either creep jack him or go into the base once the graveyard finishes and have like 4 skellies chase down Acolytes. Either one is viable and works. Yeah, see, he's got the 4 beetles, the 2 skellies. 1 died to the creeps though. And Zizo's actually going to creep something first. I don't hate this either, especially because he had the Acolyte keeping tabs on the Crypt Lord. He's going to get the 1 creep. He did use multiple coils though, but gets the slippers, gets the XP. And NorthDrakkar trying to scavenge the rest of this camp. Will he use a coil? No coil used. It will go NorthDrakkar's way. Zizo taking some damage, but will be able to get these skeletons back if he wants to deny the XP. Will NorthDrakkar target down these skellies and get them before they run away? Looks like he... Actually, I don't think he got any. He might have got 1 skelly. Maybe not. I think this is just the creep, isn't it? So good job by Zizo. And he's just gonna tech. Ooh, second Ziggurat seems very, very late. He's been supply blocked forever. NorthDrakkar also, I mean, maybe that's just their plan. Get the tech right underway quickly. And Zizo just gonna keep poking here, prevent NorthDrakkar from creeping. Oh, he does have the 1 fiend. And Zizo now with the only unit so far from both sides. Kind of awkward to see a game that's like 4 minutes long already, and this is the first unit that has come out onto the field. Both sides just focusing on their tech, getting their quick hero to rush / creep. And both taking quite a bit of damage as well. Zizo should be able to snag this creep whenever he wants with a coil. So he's probably just going to focus the beetle as much as he can. But now NorthDrakkar also has a fiend, and if NorthDrakkar can get some beetles summoned from a corpse... I don't think there are corpses here. I think they were all already made into skellies. Ooh. Oh my god, I did not look close enough, but I feel like NorthDrakkar got that. Although it looks like Zizo has a lot of XP, so maybe he did still get it. I honestly did not see. But the item is actually huge here. Replenishment is going to come in clutch. Both sides would have liked this in this situation. But Zizo is the one who's going to get it. Get some nice denies on his skellies. NorthDrakkar wants to cancel that replenishment, but Zizo keeping his distance. And yeah, we're going straight tier 3. Lich coming out. Next will be the Slaughter now that he's got enough resources. NorthDrakkar doing his tier 2 style, it seems, with Slaughter and Temple, and will probably look to push. However, his push is going to be severely delayed without the Crypt Lord reaching level 3 anytime soon. He's gonna need another 2 more camps beyond this camp just to get level 3, I believe. Which is going to give Zizo... It's gonna give Zizo all the time he needs to get his tier 3 and his orb. And orb makes a huge difference in these fights. Zizo will get the item and level 2. Unholy Aura going to come in clutch, of course, both for the regen and the move speed. But he is quite low on health. He's going to really need the Slaughter to finish and get that statue out onto the field before NorthDrakkar does any sort of push. We got a Wagon, a Necro, and more Fiends. And staying tier 2, so it does seem like it's going to be a tier 2 style push. But Zizo will be tier 3. Could even get Destroyer form. However, Undead also has Wand Negation now, which could play a big part against these low-level Skellies and Beetles. Especially if the Crypt Lord never reaches 3. If the Crypt Lord never reaches 3, Wand Negation for sure one-shots these, right? I don't actually remember how much damage Wand Negation does to summons, but I think it should one-shot these. Probably. I don't know if it would one-shot level 2 Beetles though. Was my point, I guess. Ooh, double Ring of Regen. That is actually quite nice situationally for now. Later, once this statue starts working overtime, it would of course have been better to have got other items. But right now, these are insanely good because he's taking a lot of damage. And now he's going to be able to save up some mana as he relies on the regen rings instead. Lich and DK both about to level up. Crypt Lord does finally reach 3. I think he used the Crystal Ball right here and saw NorthDrakkar going for this. If he actually came over here with Lich and or DK, he could have potentially sniped this creep too, but I don't hate just sticking to his own plan and continuing to creep. NorthDrakkar, double Wagon, statue, 4 Necros. He's got the sort of tier 2 army he wants, and he's probably about to head over. Yeah, picking up some extra corpses. Probably going to bring at least 3 of the ghouls. Okay, just 2. Because he does have plenty of wood now with almost 600. Meanwhile, Death Knight heading towards the center has the orb. Looks like he's going to buy a hero. I wonder if a hero other than Dark Ranger is actually better situationally here. Oof. And that was indeed stolen by Zizo. Huge XP for the Dark Ranger right away. But Zizo is going to need dust in order to deal with these fiends. There's 3 fiends hiding at low health. And he does get the dust. Nice pickup by the Death Knight. However, he can't really fight here yet, can he? But Destro on the field. Ooh, but the web comes in clutch. Destro's only going to get off maybe 1 more Devour. And now it's getting focused down. Coil comes in. Can it get another Devour? I don't think so. It will be falling. But it did honestly do its job. Got multiple Devours off. And we got a somewhat even fight. Orb is still on the Death Knight. He would really like to pass it. It does finally get it onto that Lich now. And I think Zizo is in control here. NorthDrakkar has lost the Necros. And against Tri-Hero plus Orb, I don't think this army is going to be good enough. He is getting the Fiends all quite low, but he can't actually finish anything because without mana for Impale or without other heroes to slow or get kills, he does not have a whole lot. But he does have some damage when they're standing still, and the Dark Ranger falls. crap, it's Crippler. Finally falls with the Ankh. And Death Knight going to have to be careful once this invuln finishes. It is the 15-second invuln though. Zizo needs to be careful of watching both heroes here though. No coils available. Dark Ranger gonna have to run. Zizo really wants to stay in and get some pickoffs, but will have to TP out. But overall, a winning fight for Zizo. He got a lot of kills. He did lose the Dark Ranger, but look at all these fiends. Is he gonna buy a... Oh, he's just gonna rely on the statue. I was gonna say maybe he would like to buy the Ritual Dagger and get some regen going on all of these, but maybe he's just gonna rely on mana potions and Death Knight Coil. He does have a lot of damage now with all the fiends finally back in the fight. And Cripplord, even with all this armor, oh yeah, no Impale either, it's just Carapace. No wonder he's been so tanky. Ooh, Cripplord TP's out at the last second, 12 HP. And yeah, Zizo taking control of the fight. And NorthDrakkar, with his push having failed, where does he go from here? Because he is still tier 2 and still solo hero. I think he needs to somehow reach level 5 and build back up. But he's already almost at 50 food and not going to have time to reach level 5. So he might just have to go with what he has. But I don't know if it's going to be enough. Zizo has got time to have the statues pay off, and now all these fiends are back to full health almost. The heroes are still a little low, but the Death Knight can coil that Dark Ranger anytime with 2 coils available, maybe a third once mana picks up. Ooh, but Zizo does need to be careful against all these summons. Maybe he wants to just back off here. Dust and Scroll of Healing picked up. Nice pickups to be honest, but needs to be careful with that Dark Ranger. He is going to stay in the fight. Ooh, double Destroyer Morph. Just wants to get the Devours off. I think that's a fine choice though. If he can get rid of these Skellies with the next set of Devours, NorthDrakkar's army is going to be looking quite small in comparison, and it looks like Zizo is taking control. GG is called. And we will be heading to game 2 with Zizo up 1-0. But it can be rough sometimes. Anyways, seems like Zizo was able to play his game fairly well though and got that first win. Let me adjust the score. First time casting in 50 years. Forgot about small things like that. Anyways, game 2 here. NorthDrakkar is going to be in the blue and the top left and switching up his build considerably. Instead of the fast hero, he's going to be going straight into fiends with Crypt and Graveyard. But Zizo is going to stick with what he did the first game. Fast altar. So we may see another quick Death Knight to harass / poke around. And this fast altar can actually be quite good against the fiend build. If the fiend player is out on the map creeping when the fast altar player shows up, or maybe even before the hero is like coming out. I don't remember the exact timing. I think the fiend player like just ends up starting the camp and the Death Knight like shows up at his base. And if he like gets a creep on the way with 2 Skellies and then like another 2 Skellies from the graveyard, he can just walk in with 4 Skellies and it becomes very difficult to save all the acolytes. We'll see if that ends up being the play, or if Zizo once again goes for, you know, maybe just stealing some items and key creeps. It'll probably be reliant on what his acolyte sees. And he did a good job the first game, spotting the Crypt Lord potentially going to the bottom of the map and then coming back. And Zizo just had full vision of what NorthDrakkar's plan was the last game. See if he can do it again. Acolyte is going to see the graveyard. Does see the early tower as well. So this graveyard does tell him he might have some opportunity to dive in with the corpses available to him. But looks like he's going to creep instead. Not a bad plan, of course. But yeah, I do think the timing works out. Like if he showed up and got like a critter on the way, he could have 4 skellies and potentially go in. Maybe it's because he saw the tower, or maybe this was just going to be his plan all along. The tower would definitely deter him from going there. He does take a considerable chunk of damage on his DK, but fairly cleanly gets the creep with 4 skellies available. And he would like to use them on another camp before they time out. Do we have the tech? Tech is a bit delayed. Zizo may be forgetting it here for a second. Has 700, 300 resources. Meanwhile, NorthDrakkar, another Acolyte coming out, potentially Expo style. He does have the Sack Skull. Oh, Zizo was focusing on stealing the creep with his Acolyte. Narrowly misses multiple of them. It actually would have been a huge pickup too if he could have stole one, but does go NorthDrakkar's way, and NorthDrakkar is looking very strong to potentially expand here with so many summons and with 2 fiends as well. It's going to be tough for Zizo to stop this, but he may be able to steal a creep or 2, which would put him at level 2 on the Death Knight, and level 2 with the aura is going to be huge if he can get it. NorthDrakkar, ooh, gets the creep low enough, level 2 picked up on the Death Knight, huge pickup for Zizo. But like I said, the Expo is going to come up eventually. However, NorthDrakkar started it a little too soon. With the skellies here, it might be cancelled again. That's going to be huge resources lost if Zizo goes for it. But he seems to want to go for the Ziggurat cancel this time. I think this is a little lower priority, but maybe he didn't think he could even get the gold mine a second time. Especially with his Death Knight dropping this low. Yeah, we will see. Ziggurat did take actually a lot of damage. But as we can see, it is going to be a clean Expo. And this is going to come down to the tier 3 tri-hero timing push for Zizo, I believe. One thing you can also do, if you're the one having to breach this Expo later, is get the early Sapper. However, it does require creeping a pretty difficult camp, but I do think it would be good for him once his Lich is out to find the time to pull and creep that camp, just so it's open to have the option of a Sapper later once he does his actual tier 3 push. Assuming he's doing a tier 3 push. We could even see some crazy tier 2 all in. I don't think that's very common though. Most undeads like to rely on the tier 3 and the orb. Crypt Lord on the other side, double gloves of haste, going to be actually quite a considerable amount of damage on the Crypt Lord. Like once he starts attacking pretty fast, this damage really starts adding up, and gloves did get boosted a little bit. Oh my god, he is actually quick enough to cancel this. Zizo, huge pickup. Sneaks. Oh my god, NorthDrakkar tried to set it up again. Those cancels are costing NorthDrakkar a lot of resources. Really should have just waited that time. Ooh, and a nice surround by Zizo. Going to micro his fiend back as well, and Zizo taking control here. NorthDrakkar does have level 3. Did take some crucial camps, but with the Expo this delayed, this timing push from tier 3 and orb is going to hit very hard. Ooh, and we're going to see Dark Ranger second. Not going to be particularly amazing here because it is a fiend build. I think this Dark Ranger makes a lot of sense when the Undead goes like Crypt Lord Ghoul Expo. But against the Fiend Expo, I'm not sure if it was necessary. Maybe he could have still just gone Lich second. But he does get the hero out onto the field right away, and maybe that's all he wanted. And we see him poking away here, but there are a lot of beetles to deal with. He has around 2 coils available, 1 already getting used, and it's only level 1 coil as well. The Fiend! Zizo going to lose 1 Fiend. NorthDrakkar, huge pickup there. And with only 1 coil left, Zizo's going to have to back off. Maybe a bit too preemptive of a timing here. Zizo already did what he needed to with the first cancel, and now he's out of mana on the Death Knight. His army's softened up. It's going to be a little difficult for him to creep until the statues actually roll out onto the field. And he's going to back off.
A player's forces are under attack.
But he's got what he needs. He's got 4 Ziggurats. And the slaughter with statue coming. Yeah, he might just have to creep a small camp and get corpses. Ooh, he's actually coming to the center here, but I think NorthDrakkar... I think he can contest this with the beetles, but at the same time he could just back off if he wants. This is... I'm not actually sure who this favors. Both sides just mostly taking out summons here. But honestly, NorthDrakkar is probably fine with that since he... Oh wait, no, he went Impale this time. I was like, since he normally just goes Carapace anyways, mana's not a huge problem, but with Impale as well, maybe he would like to save some mana rather than some more beetles. Statue is on the field. NorthDrakkar won't be able to really chase any of these down, but Zizo does need a lot of time. Ooh, we do get the one Impale used, but it is only level 1 Impale. Fiends only softened up a little, not actually going to die. And maybe ending up being just a little wasteful with that Impale. Statue is going to heal these up. NorthDrakkar just needs to buy time. He does have a nice setup here, but low on wood. Only... Okay, there are 4 ghouls. They're just kind of spread far on the side. We got Temple tier 3 for NorthDrakkar coming. So he wants to compete with tier 3 this time. He does have the double crypt, Slaughter, and Temple coming, and trying to take out a Fiend here. Zizo does take the center camp though. And NorthDrakkar doing what he so often does, which is that early research of Burrow and able to save his Fiends here. Something of note for anyone who does face NorthDrakkar. It is very wise to oftentimes get early reveal against him, because I see this so often and he punishes a lot of players with it. Ooh, but not going to be fast enough there. Oh, and there is the dust. Is that going to be 2 Fiends down? Oof. And now the Lich, the Orb, Zizo's timing is reaching its readiness here. And NorthDrakkar, I'm not sure if he's really ready. He's spent a lot on infrastructure with the other necropolis here, all these tech buildings, but hasn't actually broke beyond 50 yet, nor is he really capable of. He is missing potentially Ziggurats until this necropolis finishes. Will he actually be able to cancel this? Because that would be huge. NorthDrakkar would be stuck at 50 food, and that's not what he wants with the push coming. Oof. Oof. Huge pick off there by Zizo. Most of the time I feel like people oftentimes just let that come up because it takes too long to kill, but Zizo finding the right time to take it out, and it ends up being a crucial time. Gets 3 skellies off these acolytes as well, and doesn't even need the sap right here. With so many skellies on the field already, this Ziggurat is going to die quick. NorthDrakkar does get roared. Beetles and Fiends coming into the fight. He is going to be quite strong. However, Zizo honestly can just back off if he wants. They're even on supply. Half the acolytes died. And we are going to have a bit of a contested fight here. 1 Fiend goes down. NorthDrakkar going to have to just stand his ground against the dust until the dust actually runs out. Banshee getting picked off. Oh, now switching to the Fiend, but 1 Fiend for Zizo as well. Both sides losing some units now, and if NorthDrakkar can get rid of another Fiend or 2, maybe he can stick in this, but this Destroyer is going to be a real problem. And I don't know if NorthDrakkar does... Oh, he does have Web. If he can take out this Destroyer and get more Beetles on the field, maybe he has a chance. He is switching to the Destroyer now with his Crypt Lord, but the Fiends are just backing off. The Tri-Hero is looking strong for Zizo, and with the Destroyer not being stopped, it's going to be difficult for this Crypt Lord to really get the value he wants. The Acolytes remaining are trying to repair this tower, trying to get it complete, but they are food for the Dark Ranger whenever Zizo can actually focus them down. We got some more illusions by Zizo in the way, drawing the fire. Impale not going to hit a whole lot there, and looks like NorthDrakkar might be able to take out the Destroyer now finally, and that's going to be huge. But the Banshees have already used up all their mana. We do have a level 5 Crypt Lord. He does go Beetles, and he will have one set of Beetles here. That could help him a lot, but another Destroyer on the field is going to be a real problem. The web comes out. Can he get the focus fire on this Destroyer and actually take it out? Or is Zizo just going to comfortably stay here with his Tri-Hero? Destroyer is quite up front now. But it looks like NorthDrakkar is just kind of attacking the Fiends for now. Going to lose his own Fiend maybe? Ooh, barely gets it burrowed. And now with the Destroyer gone, we could see some Beetles coming out. He's going to rely on the Impale instead. Only the level 2 Impale instead of the Beetles. There are more statues to morph, so... Oh, am I lagging? That's really awkward. Hopefully that doesn't affect their game. The server is not the best for me, per se. Yeah, it looks like with the tower gone, Zizo is taking control here. And with so many statues ready, he's going to be able to morph Destroyers, and Beetles will no longer play a part either. And it looks like the collapse of NorthDrakkar. I think the big thing here was the Haunted Goldmine getting cancelled earlier, as well as this Necropolis getting cancelled. Both were such huge pickups by Zizo. And yeah, NorthDrakkar's army is falling. He may get the Destroyer kill. Crypt Lord is almost 6, but with the Tri-Hero reaching 4-3-3 in a second, how do you really compete with that? GG is called, and Zizo will take the 2-0 victory.